Shara Bullet, he comes back, looking to bounce back against the power bar Marc-Andre Barriault. AJ, some would say critically that Magomedov got exposed, man, that he's not the truth. He's not the guy that we all thought he was because he lost to a very, very tricky MVP, Michael Venom Page. Marc-Andre Barriault, on the other hand, listen, man, he got a solid knockout against a guy whose chin was gone, a Bruno Silva who crushed everybody outside of the UFC, came to the UFC and almost lost it. I think he won one fight in the UFC out of his like 6-fight run or something like that. But you get a power pressure fighter with questionable, just everything about the power bar right now is a little questionable. He's fallen a little out of favor for me against a dude with just still a ton of question marks for Shara Magomedov. Are you sold that Magomedov is not the guy that we thought he was, or do you think that MVP is going to make anybody look bad?
I think MVP is going to make anybody look bad, Derek, especially if you've tried to fight an MVP style of fight, right? You're going tit for tat, you're going strike for strike, looking to just trade combos. MVP is going to make a fool out of anybody. Shit, we just saw Stephen Wonderboy Thompson do it last week, 2 weeks ago. MVP is that same style of fighter. So if you're going at it and going to attack him like that, I think Shara just had a bad game plan. So I'm not sold that Shara isn't the guy anymore. But there were a lot of eyebrows raised, Derek, because that was also supposed to be Shara's game, right? Heavy kicks on the outside, make him look bad, hit him with a bunch of stuff, and then not be able to be touched. Like, that's what we've seen Shara do the rest of the time. And unfortunately, MVP made his striking, I don't want to say elementary, but rudimentary, if you will. Like, Shara almost looked starstruck going in there.
Yeah.
We did not see the normal performance he had.
Oh, bro. I mean, part of it was that he bit on every feint imaginable that MVP threw his way. Deceptively, MVP is fast, man. So I can understand just being overwhelmed, too much data downloaded where you're like, I don't even know where to throw back. And the other problem too, man, is Magomedov and this worries me in this fight, he's a little too willing to accept the back foot and just kind of circle around on the back foot and kind of play that game right here. And against the power bar, that's going to be a dangerous game to play because we know what he wants to do. He wants to clinch you up, put you up against the cage, drop that elbow that he dropped on Bruno Silva, or even better, just stop the mobility. Because that was the other thing. MVP wasn't just throwing out feints. He wasn't just fast. He was mobile the entire time. He's not running per se, but he's dancing on you. You know what I mean? He's dancing. He's not being a stationary target. Good news for Magomedov is, one, you get a hometown fight right here. You get the Abu Dhabi fight, so you get the hometown love. But number two is you don't got a guy who moves a ton. You got a guy who you're going to have a massive speed advantage over right here. And I think more than anything right here, this is going to be a battle of just range versus pressure. And I don't want to dumb it down too simply, but I think it's pretty much as simple as that one. Can Barriault get to him without eating a bunch of shots in that interim right there? Can his chin hold up? Because AJ, you hate to say it, but the reality is when he got knocked out by Pfeiffer and Stoltzfus in the first round, and Bruno Silva was putting some hands on you before you got to him, I'm just not. I don't think the guy that we saw in this win run right here, Marquez, Anders, Jordan Wright, even the names right there, man, I'm not quite sold on the power bar. What do you think?
I'm not sold either, Derek. I think Magomedov is going to come to this fight looking to put a show, looking to show people that last fight was a fluke. He is the star that we all thought he was. And especially with the kicks, man, the way Magomedov is able to put the kicks together at range, I think Barriault is going to have a very hard time trying to close that distance and even get his hands on Shara. If he does, we'll see what he could do, because at least as of late, Barriault can still have the power, right? He can still have the strength going forward. It's just everything else that's a big question mark. That's why I like Shara in this fight.
What do we got for Barriault right here? Because you got to give him something, right? Cardio, even though it's been questionable at times right here, generally, if he can keep the pace, if he can keep 15 minutes of pure pressure on Magomedov, I mean, he might be able to stifle some of that open range, because that's what Magomedov needs. Again, he needs that open range. He needs that kicking range right there to truly be effective, because I honestly think, I don't have a number to prove it, but I think he throws more kicks than he throws hands purely.
I would not be surprised by that at all, Derek. That wouldn't be a shocking stat, especially because Magomedov, that is his best aspect of how he likes to approach fights. But yeah, I mean, if we want to give something to Barriault right here, if Barriault is able to crush that distance and just smother Magomedov, whether it's on the cage or whether it's on the ground, and just nullify the movement, I think that's going to put a big damper on the Magomedov spirit, especially because in the last fight that he lost, right? It was a technical battle that you weren't able to outshine yourself on. Now you just get drug around for 15 minutes and beat up. Those are two significantly different losses, but also have a horrible outcome. So this could, I mean, if Barriault can do it, man, that would be a hell of a notch on his resume.
That's right. All right, folks. Well, hey, listen, I tried to show a little bit of love right here to the underdog, but he is a plus 440 dog right here, minus 700 for Shara Magomedov. And our job is to give you guys some value right here. So at the end of the day, again, this is not a guy that I would bet on right here. I wouldn't even say this is a good parlay piece because it's going to drag down your parlay, minus 700. That's a square if I have seen one. But I do think that for the pick, you got to go Shara Bullet until he proves you're wrong against a guy like Barriault, not like MVP, but like Barriault. Final piece of the total right here, 1.5 rounds, minus 175 for the over, plus 145 for the under. I would have to imagine if you go Magomedov, you're taking the over, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Derek. I like especially at 1.5. Let Shara get to work, let him avoid that first round, and then just go to work after that. Especially, what is he? You said minus 700 favorite.
Yeah.
You take the minus 170 all day long on this one, folks.
Yeah, man. And I think the reason why the total looks like that is because they're thinking that he's going to knock out Barriault. I think that that's really what they're seeing right here. So again, will the chin of Barriault hold up? If he can clinch and close that distance, it might just. We'll see.